Regardless of what you think of Joker, we can all agree Arthur Fleck is a different kind of clown prince of crime, one with a lot of potential for the future. Though nothing has been set in stone yet, director Todd Phillips has previously said there is a possibility for a sequel to Joker, so of course everyone is trying to figure out what it could be about. We know that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker won't cross to the main DC timeline, so no, we're not gonna see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker fighting Robert Pattinson's Batman. So multiverse answers are out of the question, but that doesn't mean that there are more stories to be told in the Jokerverse. While Joker took some serious liberties with the Batman mythos, the story was still influenced by seminal works from the comic books like The Killing Joke. Here are 5 theories for a potential sequel of Joker. Number 1. Joker becomes the hero Gotham needs. The moment Arthur Fleck shoots down the rich Gothamites in a subway and people actually cheered him, Todd Phillips puts us on a path that leads to a different dynamic between the Clown Prince of Crime and the Dark Knight of Gotham. Throughout Joker, we see the making of the Joker into an accidental anti-hero, and how he starts inspiring the downtrodden people of a rundown Gotham rise up against Wall Street and City Hall. People start wearing clown masks and makeup during protest and manifestation. Lastly, the movie ends on a citywide riot with people fighting police, one clown mask wearing individual once again shooting down Thomas and Martha Wayne, and Joker being hailed as a savior by the protesters. What does this mean for a potential sequel? For one, Joker would no longer be a criminal with a few thugs, but an idea that spreads throughout Gotham. Number 2. There is more than one Joker. This is a theory that went around the internet when the first trailer dropped and revealed a young Bruce Wayne. People were quick to point out the age difference between Arthur and Bruce, and how it would make fights between the two a bit complicated. The solution: Arthur is not the real Joker, but he inspires whoever becomes the real one. As mentioned, Joker shows us a version of its titular villain that is revered even before he starts calling himself Joker, becoming a symbol for unrest and rebellion in Gotham City. In the final moments of the film, a man dressed as a clown murders Thomas and Martha Wayne because they represent everything the Joker quote-unquote movement is fighting against. If someone could be inspired by the Joker to go kill someone as important as Thomas Wayne, who's to say that someone else wouldn't take up the mantle of Joker once Arthur grows old, or stays inside Arkham Asylum as we see in the final scene, as introduced in the pages of Justice League number 42 by Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok. We now know that there is not one, not two, but there are 3 different Jokers in the DC universe. A sequel to Joker could follow Arthur as he became a symbol and he inspires different Gothamites to take up the mantle of the Clown Prince of Crime. There doesn't have to be just one, as the 3 Jokers theory could mean that the person that usually fights Batman is different from the criminal mastermind that is different from the clown. This is even hinted in the movie, right before the iconic and repetitive scene where the Waynes get murdered after exiting a theater. The movie they were seeing? Zorro, the Gay Blade, which is about Zorro's son taking up the mantle before getting in an accident and being forced to let his gay twin brother, Ramon, to become the new Zorro. Though he refers to himself as Bunny Wigglesworth. Will the next Joker go that far? Probably not, but we could see Arthur's twin. Number 3. Joker becomes Bruce's mentor. Joker plays a lot with reality and fantasy. At several points in the movie, we are led to believe that what we've seen is not real. We know that Arthur imagined his relationship with his neighbor Sophie, and we know this extended to his mother's mental illness that led her to believe that Arthur was Thomas Wayne's son, though we find out that Arthur was adopted and not a Wayne bastard. His attempt to go to Wayne Manor to confront Thomas had Arthur come face to face with a young Bruce Wayne. As we see towards the end of the film, Thomas and Martha die yet again, leaving Bruce as an orphan. In the brief scene, we see them together. Arthur seemed sympathetic towards Bruce. Now that they are both orphans, the sequel to Joker could see Arthur take a bigger interest in the young Wayne heir, seeing him as a victim of the system and society. This could lead to a scenario where Arthur becomes a sort of mentor to Bruce, showing him how life is outside Wayne Manor, with a father-son relationship blossoming between the traditional mortal enemies. Honestly, how twisted would it be if Bruce doesn't become a masked vigilante? Sadly, this would most likely mean that Alfred won't make it to the end of the film, as it is doubtful he would allow that relationship to grow. And it's not like Batman mythos haven't explored a sort of friendship between the Bat and the Clown, as the Gotham TV show and Bruce Wayne became friends with Jerome Valeska. Fully known that Jerome's brother Jeremiah tried to kill him multiple times. Of course, Jerome eventually shows his true colors and Bruce fights him, which could even be the story of an eventual Joker 3. Number 4. The White Knight route. A big part of Joker involved Thomas Wayne's campaign as he ran for mayor of Gotham, and the public's opinion of a member of the Gotham elite saying he cared about them. With Thomas dead and Arthur being hailed as a hero, Joker 2 could potentially follow the limited series Batman White Knight by Sean Murphy. The limited comic book run dealt with an alternate reality where the roles of Batman and the Joker are reversed, set in a Gotham where crime could not be stopped with fit. In this reality, Batman is the one often incarcerated in Arkham Asylum, as he is now considered a villain, while Joker is a successful politician by the name of Jack Napier. With Thomas Wayne dead and Gotham City in chaos, it isn't hard to imagine Arthur emerging as a popular representative of the common folk. Just as he accidentally found himself the image of a movement, Arthur can end up a political candidate for mayor. By the time Bruce grows up and decides to dress up as a bat, Gotham could already be used to and conditioned to love a city run by Joker. This could be a fascinating Elseworld story we haven't seen before. What if Batman is the villain? What if the common folk Batman used to keep safe by fighting crime is now the people being negatively affected by the Caped Crusader, disrupting the status quo? And lastly, number 5, Arthur never became the Joker. In the last scene of the movie, we see Arthur talking to his social worker inside Arkham Asylum. He seems to be recounting the events of the movie to her, because mere moments before we see Arthur being taken away from a police car and lifted up in the air by the protesters dressed as clowns, and Arthur dancing on top of that car, it seems weird that he ended up in Arkham all of a sudden. It could be that he was caught sometime later and imprisoned for the murder of Murray Franklin, but it could also be that he was in prison long before that, possibly for the murder on the train that kickstarted the Joker movement, making the third act of Joker all part of a lie or a hallucination from Arthur. It wouldn't even be out of the question, as we saw previously in the film, that he imagined all of his scenes with Sophie. We have also seen the character of Joker lie about his origin story in The Dark Knight, where he told 2 different stories about how he got his scars. What would that mean for a sequel? Well, we know that Arthur aspires to be liked by everyone, and if he really imagined things, he already has the clown imagery in his mind, as well as the dreams of violence and murder. If Joker 2 decides to go this route, they could simply adapt one of the origin stories from the comics, like having Arthur, new jobless, fall into a life of crime with a dangerous gang, say the Red Hood gang, where he eventually falls into a pit of chemicals and becomes the clown prince of crime we all know. These are really interesting theories that can all fit in really well as being the sequel of Joker. Tell me, which one is your favorite out of the 5? Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comment section below. Thanks for watching the video, and remember that if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave your like and share this video. And also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to see more content. This has been All Around.